A carnation is really easy to make. Let's try it. So I have watercolor paper, I have watercolor pencil, water-soluble pencil. I'm not going to sketch it out first because I'm just going to keep the general shape of my carnation in mind. I'm going to start at the top of the page. And I'm making the little jagged petals. And I'm going to just keep it I'm jumping around on purpose in the general shape of a carnation, which is a little bit flatter on the bottom and then a domed top. So I can jump around, fill in wherever I see blank spots when I get, and they're all kind of radiating out from the middle so far. You can see it takes shape really quickly. And when I get to the middle, they all just, they come in all directions towards you. So not all directions, but comes towards you. And so you can draw it in almost any direction. So again, it's a little flatter on the bottom, a little more rounded on the top. Of course, there's, you're filling in where the gaps are, if there are any. And some carnations are fuller than others. So that's about it. Okay, to make its stamen, it's also it's like a cup shape like that. It has little sort of leafy shaped stamen, kind of attached at the bottom here. And then of course the stem comes down about that thick. But I'm probably going to just watercolor the stem. So I'll just bring one side down like that. I'm going to make these a darker green. Get it down. I'll put a little bit of darker green here. It can be kind of the shadow, and then the rest is going to be lighter green. I could do this with paint. I just figured I've got these in my hand. So just to fast forward a little bit, I will start to get a little bit of paint onto here. And so I'm both melting the watercolor pencil as well as adding some watercolor, and then getting that stem in. And once I get my steady hand, I just pull it all the way down. It's a little dark, it'll dry lighter, but I think I'll just blot it a little bit and then let some very faint lines show. I'll go back later and put these little things in. I said later, but here I go, adding them now. I guess it's dry enough because I blotted it. So those just kind of come in like that. So then that, has an authentic look. We'll get to more, of course. You have the option of leaving the carnation like that. Here's close up. Or we can take just water, and because this is water, these are water soluble pencils, I can just with water blend them in this same direction as my little zigzags, and then you get this kind of pink with the red edging, which I think is really effective. But it was great with just the red too, so that's up to you. And then your carnation's about done. Okay, so now you need a leaf. So the leaves seem to be supported by a little, I'm not sure what to call it. Is it also a stamen for the leaf? And then the leaves kind of go in a little bit of a spiral. So I think I might use a pencil for this, just to for demonstration purposes. You'll learn to freehand draw it, I'm sure. But if you take two pencils, maybe I'll do one green and one light one. I need to hold them a little bit close together because I don't want my leaf too too fat. If I put two of those thick pencils together, it might not work. Okay, so I'm going to hold them together so I get two lines at once. I'm going to start in like this. I'm going to let it come down and spiral, because that's often what a carnation leaf will do. Okay, so then when it comes here, one of them has to come in front. So I'm gonna retrace over that line and then paint this so that this appears to be coming in front, and then this is going behind it. So I'll let that stay a little bit lighter. So you see, when I darken it like that, you get the feeling of what's in front. Little bit of water, maybe a little bit of paint. See if we need it. And then once you learn to do this with two pencils, then you can start to learn to draw it with one, and then it won't be an issue. If you don't like the pencil line, you can make your leaves a little darker, and then it won't show. It's like I went beyond the line, but it'll be okay. So I'm going to let it go darker under here, and then I'll just get more water. Maybe I'll just dip in here a little bit and just get a lighter end of the petal. I'm saying petal, but I mean leaf. And you get that shape. I like to exaggerate this little bulbous part because that's how it is. And if it were to branch off a little bit, it would also have that little bulb, so every time you need a leaf, you need that little bulbous part. So another way to do a leaf is a straight brush, a flat brush. And then, all right, I'm letting that little thing come out. And then I'm going to, again, well, sometimes they don't spiral, sometimes they just kind of come up and then do that. So, but with a brush, sometimes it's easy just to use the watercolor pencil to exaggerate what you need, so that little bulbous thing. So so that's another way to do a leaf, but I'll do a curly one now again. Okay. I'm going to go on this side, even though this one goes on this side too. And so I'm going to come up and around and over, and it just curls very nicely. So there's two ways to do that. Just let the stems go right off the edge of the page. Then you don't have to worry about anything. And there you have the carnation. Double check the shape. I kind of am scrutinizing a little bit and want a little extra petal in there. Know when to stop. You know how that goes. I think we're good. Yeah. This one sticks out a little bit, so I can kind of blend it in by adding one. I think that's fine. Okay, so happy drawing carnations.